This is Banished, and if you don't know, Banished is a game that was released 10 years ago and fully changed and created the settlement building, base building genre. It was really groundbreaking at that time, and I'm really interested in seeing how fresh, how new, how interesting it is 10 years later. This is how it all started, and I really want to see how it compares to Timberborn, to Manor and all the other settlement builder games we have today. So let's see here. It's creating, it's loading, and perfect. Let's zoom out a bit. Alright, so what do we have here? We have our starting base, we have a storage barn, and we have a stockpile right. But first, you might not have noticed that the UI is very empty, and that's because you start off with by choosing down here onto the right side what UI information you want to have. There is a lot of things you can have. What I prefer to having is these three things here. We have professions, and this is where you micromanage all the work that needs to be done. So you have all the laborers, and then you can transfer them to builders or farmers, herbalists, cut down, have more, have less, change really easily right there. Then we have our city and the information of our city, how many logs, how many people, how many kids, how much food, all of that stuff. And at the end we have event log, which is a really nice way to get information about your city. Too many people dying, not enough food, not enough logs, things like that. Just perfectly simple UI. You can have map as well if you want. Not much use for it. I don't have much use for it, but that's nice to have. What we see here is we have a bunch of logs, forest, trees. We also have this right here. The dark gray is iron, and then the brighter gray, where was it? Right down here is stone. So everything is useful. And I want to check one thing before we actually keep going here. You see this thicker river that goes all the way somewhere at the end of the map? Yeah. So this is where the trader boat will actually go through. There we are. Alright, so we should set up a trading post later in the game, but not right now. First thing we gotta do is actually just start with cutting off some logs here, things like this and like that. I wanna try. I've played it for a few hours now, or in the last few weeks. And one thing I've noticed is that the first winter specifically, but the second winter as well, is really dangerous. It kills you really quickly, and I wanna avoid that as much as I can. So what I want to do is actually find a place where I can have, well, where I can straight up from today, actually from the first day we have here, set up farms. So I'm thinking maybe something like a big farm like here. This is a big risk here, just to make that clear. Normally you would start off by having a gatherer's hut, probably somewhere here where there is lots of forest. We can do that as well, but I want to get this thing going first. You could also, as you saw, we have a small lake right here. There is fishing, so you can have really easy fishing. It's not really the best, but it's pretty good. Now what else do we have when it comes to food? We have orchards. I don't know how to pronounce it, but you can have apples, plums, fruits like that. You can also have pasture. There is fishing, we said, and hunting. And hunting is the same as... Hunting is not the same as gatherer's hut, but it's in the same area, since both need forest for the things, right, for the hunting and stuff. So we can actually set up... This looks like a good place. And while they work... Oh, right here. As you, this is the animals that hunters will hunt. A lot of reindeers, so yeah. Something like that. They will hunt them, build them up, all of that. That's gonna be interesting. Oh, perfect. And the crop field is already being it's not harvested, but it's planting and all of that. And here we have our first event log. Storage for log stone is near capacity. Let's see here. Oh, it's 99. We gotta hurry, fix this up. No, we're gonna leave one in the middle right there. That should be good. Now what do we have here? Perfect. They are cutting down everything in the area to build a hunting cabin. Now while they do that, let's also prepare a gatherer's hut. Right, wait, we don't need two. But we have two hunting cabins. I don't know. We don't want two. So one hunting cabin is plenty, and we want a gatherer's hut as well. After they have built these two, they shouldn't take that much space. But here, let's look at the professions. As you see, we have laborers, 6 of them. These are, well, manual laborers, like the way I selected. Let's see here, the way I selected them to cut down the forest here and to remove some stones from this area. That's the job the laborers do. When they are done building up the hunting camp, we can set up people. We have where is the hunter? Right down here, and we can set up 2-3 people just to hunt all the time without us actually doing anything. And after they have done that, we're gonna build 4 or 5 houses. We do have 20 people, which is pretty reasonable, and 20 people is plenty to start off and build a whole community. All right, so that should be, we're gonna go with 2 hunters and 2 gatherers, since we do have 2 people. Oh, beautiful. Summertime, and the crop field is doing great. Let's see, they're gonna start harvesting very soon. So we said we're gonna have houses here somewhere. Let's see. So what I am thinking is have houses, and because of the mountain, they will not be in a straight line, but that's okay, since I do like to have my villagers kind of going a bit curvy, I guess, not straight line like we're doing in a lot of games, honestly. And one really unique thing about Banished is that you have, even though these are the same houses, like the wooden house, nothing special, they have several different designs. So we see we have one right here, we have one that has a, what's it called, one of these on the front, one has on the side. Yeah, so it's unique in that way. And by the way, modding for this game is crazy. It's honestly, it's pretty unbelievable. I would say it's the same as the City Skylines one. All right, perfect. Now the reserve of firewood is low. Perfect, we need to fix that as well. And where do we have that? We have forest lodge, and then we have wood cutting here. We gotta set up the forest lodge and the wood cutting somewhere. I'm thinking down here maybe. Forest lodge in the middle of the forest, so that means that they can both plant the trees at the same time as they are cutting it. And it's just a really nice way, automatic way to get a bunch of logs. And perfect, all 5 houses are built and everybody has a home, so no warning signs anywhere. Beautiful. We are at autumn. Let's see what we have. We have 23 stone tools. We have 10 stored clothes. Oh yeah, by the way, you might have noticed, but there are a bunch of jobs, professions that can be had. So we have the regular, the hunters, the woodcutter, forester, herbalist, but also blacksmith, brewer, tailor, vendor, trader, miner. So a bunch of buildings, and honestly, it's quite incredible that this game is 10 plus years old, and it has this many options and available features. Work, you get it, it's amazing. Oh, and the snow is here. We are late autumn, but the snow is already here. We have new kids being born, 3 of them. Beautiful. Ooh, but let's see, firewood is at 0, so we need to hurry up building this woodcutter, because there is a big chance that my villagers, the houses here, they will freeze to death, and we do not want that. Come on, just a few more seconds to build this up. It's going slowly. And this is another thing that Banished has done amazing compared to other games at that time. You have not as many steps as Manlords when building a building, but it has a couple of steps, and it was a huge improvement compared to the games at that time. Come on, finish it up. Oh my god, it takes such a long time. All right, so we have few people now working in the forester lodge. We have one working in a woodcutter. I hope we don't need more, but we will see. Also, while they do that, I wanna expand to have another farm right here. No wait, how big was this? 15, let's go a big one, 15 by 10. And while we at it, I also wanna clean up this area right here. And look at this, you can follow citizens, but also they have a name, how healthy they are, their age, clothes, whatever they need, gender, what job they have. That amount of details was really new at that time. Now we are in winter. We have 500 food, which is okay. Not a lot, but it's okay. What do we have? We have some meat. We have a bunch of mushrooms, onions, roots, potatoes. I think potatoes was something we got early on when we started. Okay amount of wheat, but not a lot. If we look down here, you can see amount of stored clothes, only 5, so that's not good. And that means we need to get a tailor. Let's build a tailor. That's priority number 1 here. Let's have it close by here somewhere. Now, one thing I do wish is that I could see how much food, for example, Gatherer's Hut have stored, how much food Hunting Cabin has in its own, or how much they have collected, but that's not something that's possible, so that's a small thing. And would you look at that, we are in late winter and snow is slowly disappearing. The world is turning green again. You can see a bit of snow, but that's on the way out. I think maybe not snowing again in late winter, that's fine. And if we go into the storage barn, we can see that we have 12 leather. So part of the leather is coming from the hunting cabin, which then we can use in the tailor to create clothes, some leather clothes. That's gonna be perfect. And also right down here you can see we have iron 66. Iron will be used to create tools that you have right down here, stored tools 18. So that's decent for now, but soon we'll have to have blacksmith as well for that. And here in the tailor you can see we have hide coat, which is made just by leather, from leather. Then we have wool coat and warm coat, which is leather and wool. So that's pretty amazing. Oh yeah, we need more people working on the crop field. Now the question is trading post. Can we oh, this is kind of nice place. Yeah, all right, hang on. We are a bit early with trading post. This is our second year, but it could be good. With trading post we will get a bunch of other seeds to plant. We will also get a bunch of seeds for the trees, for the orchard, and get a bunch of different fruits, but also we can order different kind of animals. For example, sheep for the wool that we'll be able to use in the tail, that we'll be able to use to create more clothing with the wool. So that's a good thing as well. So it's a big building, it's an expensive building, as you can see, 80 logs, 80 stone, and then 40 iron as well. But in the long run I think it's a good thing to have. And now in the storage room you see we have 21 coats but no leather, so I have shut down the tailor for now and let the worker do something else. But while they do that, let's check out, see what the hunters are doing. If we press, we can follow one of the workers, and the hunter, as you can see, is very happy, healthy, all of that. Let's press again, and then we get the second hunter. So I'm guessing they are just walking around in this area, the yellow one, and looking for deers, for animals to kill. Oh, hang on. I don't think I've seen what it looks like when they kill an animal. This is a bad place for you guys. I would not be here. Stone reserve is low. Okay, how much we have? Only 5. One way you can see that the game is a bit old compared to the Timberborn and Manlords and more modern games is actually prioritization of the work. So for example, if I would to say to the workers, let's cut down this forest here, and they start cutting down, and then I just start building, for example, a trading post right here and add 2 builders. Those workers will get stuck here and being forced to cut down all of this before moving on to the next job, even though I said for the 2 workers to move to the building and do the building that's the only building we have. That's kind of the only way for me right now to notice that. And I'm gonna be honest, I think that's a bit iffy. I wish that was fixed, but from what I remember, the developers released a couple of updates and then the game was kind of finished, and for the 10 plus years it hasn't been updated at all. In a way, it's nice that it still works, but also sometimes I wish there were a few life of improvement upgrades. Anyway, let's get back to the game here. How are we doing here? All the logs are being transported, some stone and some iron. We do not have stone. Let's remove some. All right, and all the houses are actually being used. So let's build 2 more. And things are moving along pretty good. So all the iron is moved, all the logs are moved, and some stone is left, but we don't have a lot of stone, so it's kind of priority between crushing the stone, mining the stone, and then also transporting it, but that's fine. What we have 25 people right now, 20 adults and 5 children, and that's the reason I have built another house here. Without another house, it's the same as in Timberborn. You need houses for people to move out and then get kids. So I have built 1 house that should give us 2 kids also. Then we also have to build the second house. So that should we're taking it a bit slow. I don't want too many kids since they don't work, but they still use a bunch of food, and you know how it is. So this is a good thing. The crops are now harvested, and as you can see, we have almost 1500 food. That's a lot of food, so I'm happy about that. What we have 700 wheat, 400 pumpkins, 300 food, meat. So, yeah, things are looking pretty good. Oh, and this is a good thing. You see, store tools 9. We need a, what is it called? We need one of blacksmiths. So we need you, buddy. And this one is expensive as well. But that's fine because, oh yeah, farmers. We do not need more farmers for now. Since they have harvested everything, they can set up and work, do something else. All right, perfect. So now the trading post is almost done. Every material is transported. We still need a lot of stones for the blacksmith. Blacksmith needs 55 stones. That's a lot. I guess lucky us, we have a lot of laborers that they can just go around and remove mine stones for now at least. And 98. Come on. 99. Bam. 100. Perfect. Good. Now, the way it works is we can have inventory here of what we want to sell. Then there is the boat, the ship that comes in here is what they are selling. Then of course we can, if we want to, we can purchase a few things, and we can also order, but we need to get the boat first so we can send an order with them. As of right now, I'm gonna just let this be and wait for the first shipment. Now what do we do? Late winter already. Perfect. I guess we survived this winter, but we don't have a lot of firewood, so I'm gonna set up a new woodcutter right here. Seems like that could be a pretty big deal in the future, since we have more houses, more kids, and all of that. I am gonna prepare the crop field, the farming, since it's really easy to miss it, and I don't want to miss it and then not have food until a year late, more than a year later. So it's better to set them up to work earlier and have them not do anything until it's time. But we can also, just for fun of it, set up a orchard thing right here. Something like this. And who knows, maybe we will have a tree that we can plant. And perfect, now our orchard is built and we have actually chestnut. So let's set up a few people. I don't want too many people working on farms. Can be a bit too much, since we have 2 on the small one, 3 on the big one, and then 2 more on the orchard. But the way this works is actually they plant the trees. So the way orchards work is the farmers plant the trees, and then a couple of years later, when the trees are grown up, something like, I think it's like 3 years, they will start generating or growing the things they are growing. So in this case, chestnuts. And then, of course, every year there will be I don't know what it's called. You just collect the chestnuts. Yeah. So you see, we have 7 farmers. I don't know if that's worth it, but I guess we'll have it. We'll let it be for now. We definitely need blacksmith, since we only have 2 tools. That's not good enough. That's far from it, actually. And we could also use a bit more logs. So prioritization of the people we have is not the best right now, but this is how it works here. There is always problem with amount of people you have and the amount of things the people need. So it's always some sort of balance that you can never reach. But that's the game, that's the fun, that's why we play settlement builders. So now I only have 6 kids and I want more. I'm gonna expand once again here, and that needs builders, and these builders are something like this. We need to cut down on the builders also. Perfect. And let's take a look at the blacksmith. So we can have iron tools, which are logs and iron. Then we have steel tools, log, iron, and coal. There is a coal maker here, I believe. We have mine, we have quarry as well. I think one of the mines could mine out the coal, but I haven't actually played that much. But also let's collect all the iron we have from the neighbor, from the close by area. And as you can see now, we have iron reserves are low, the logs reserves are low as well. We have low on pretty much everything. Even the food is kind of low right now. So we'll see how we handle that, how we handle the next winter, which is really close. We're at summer now, but you know, it's not a good summer. It's very rainy, but at least we are creating tools. We have 6 tools, so that's good. And this is what it looks like when the trees are planted. So I think I'm gonna just disable it right now. Have my workers collect all the iron around here. since we definitely need it. And one thing you might have noticed is that the storage, the stockpile and the barn don't actually have any sort of limitations or filters. If you create a barn, all of this stuff and plus more can be stored right here. And the same thing with pile. Everything, firewood, iron, logs, stone, it can all be stored without any limitations. So that's I guess good and bad thing. I would have liked to have, for example, just a log storage or log pile right here, so they can easily just move to here and then move back and forth. But hey, that's another thing that kind of feels a bit old now. It was strange in Timberborn when they moved from can store everything to can only store one thing, but it's definitely a good choice and I prefer it. Ooh, and new kids are being born. Perfect. We have 11 now and 1700 store food. So we are pretty good to go here, I would say. Let's see. We have how much? Where is the leather? Leather 28. All right, that's good. Here, I have stopped. I'm not really sure how this works, but for the orchards, I have stopped working on them. So I let them grow, but they don't have people working on them. I hope they survive without having anybody, or maybe just the leaves are gone. Maybe they survive anyway. I don't know. Oh, but we need more firewood people. Or firewood, yeah. That's okay. Let's get that going. Maybe we should take a break from the iron and just have them, yeah, and just have them clean up this area right here. Something like this. And there we go. This is our third winter. We'll soon be on the year 4. We have survived. I'm actually surprised how long we have survived. This is first time in 10 plus years that I've reached year 4. So I'm happy about that. I have played a couple hours this week and last weekend. I have not gotten this far. So this is good. And I'm glad I recorded it so I can share it with you and we can play and, you know, play together almost. So thanks so much for watching. More Banished is on the way. Subscribe for that and see you next time. Take care. Bye bye.